Ali Maxwell and George Ellick for DragonSports. We are celebrating Wrexham's third straight promotion. George, Charlton came to town and we bigged up the challenge of Charlton Athletic. Wrexham beat them in style by 3-0. 3 straight promotions. The first team to have ever done it. We're witnessing history.
Yeah, we are, and I think they deserve immense credit, maybe because of the noise around the ownership and other things. People expected the success, but that shouldn't take away how unlikely it was that Wrexham would be able to pull this off. 3 consecutive promotions, and they did so in style. It was a game that I thought was going to be a massive banana skin for them. It was a game that I thought Charlton would come there and make it very difficult for them, but they beat them comfortably. The first goal from Rathbone was a good strike from range, as we've seen them do so many times this season. The pick of the goals by far was the second goal, and a brilliant chip ball over the top from Matty James, and what a flying finish from Sam Smith. And then a late goal, deflected header that went in to make it 3-0. Charlton, a team bang in form, who don't concede many chances, don't concede many opportunities at all, and have been decent going forward, and Wrexham completely nullified the threat. That is the latest performance and what has been an incredible progression from this football club. And heading into the Championship next season, you know, the wealth that the owners bring to Wrexham, with every step they go up, it becomes a little bit less important. And certainly in the Championship next season, it's hard to see Wrexham being one of the big hitters. But the way the club is progressing right now, and certainly with Phil Parkinson at the helm, it's hard to see them do anything but continue to progress.
Phil Promotions Parkinson, to give him his full name. I was at the EFL Awards on Sunday night, and I watched Chris Davies, the Birmingham City manager, step up on stage and collect League One Manager of the Year. And it's hard to argue with a manager whose team have 105 points with 2 games to spare, winning Manager of the Season. But I would have given it to Phil Parkinson. He would have been my vote for League One Manager of the Season. I think that because there's so much noise about Wrexham, and because whatever your standpoint, either pro or anti-Wrexham, you will find someone coming up against you the other way. There will be some who say, well, they spend so much money on players, on wages, they just keep buying players. But that's completely outside of the point when it comes to measuring Parkinson's performance. This is another 10 out of 10 managerial performance from Parkinson. And while there are lots of good high-performing managers in League One, the likes of Richie Wellens, Dave Challoner, it's Wrexham and Phil Parkinson that have been consistent enough and picked up enough points to do what everyone wants to do, and that's go up automatically. I did not expect Wrexham to go up automatically this season. There'll be people retrofitting that narrative. Well, you know, it was always predestined. I don't believe that was the case. I also don't believe, despite decent wage spend, that Wrexham have an unbelievable squad of individuals for this level. They do have a lot of players with a lot of pedigree, a lot of older players who've played at higher levels. That's absolutely true. But I don't think it was a given that whoever was in charge of this group of players would have got as much out of them as Phil Parkinson has. So for me, he should have been the League One Manager of the Season. I'm so unbelievably impressed with him. And I think I've spent time this season questioning the tactics and whether they are the right tactics to translate up the pyramid. And you can't really argue with that sitting here right now. I've spent time questioning the recruitment and whether Wrexham's recruitment is what's best for Wrexham, or maybe what's just best for Phil Parkinson's football, and whether that's the right way of going about it. But who cares about that right now? Football's about winning, and the EFL is about winning promotion, and he is incredibly good at that. I think his temperament, what he asks of his players, what he expects and demands from them, is absolutely incredible, and he's the standout manager in League One this season. I'd be interested to know what you guys watching think. Let us know in the comments, and make sure you subscribe to the DragonSports YouTube channel.